Yes guys, how's it going? Welcome back to a new video. It's Friday, the sun is shining, bring on the weekend. And we've got some quite exciting news coming out today because Newcastle have now announced the season ticket pricing ahead of next season. That includes your season ticket, but it also includes the cup games, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, and what everybody's looking forward to, the Champions League tickets as well. And there's been quite a bit of back and forth from fans, shall I say, over the pricing on certain tickets. Some fans are pretty happy to pay whatever it costs to see Newcastle in the Champions League for the first time in a very long time. Other fans are less sure that the price matches maybe what fans expected it would be. So we're going to go through a little bit on pricing. We're going to go through exactly what is happening with the tickets as well. Obviously, ticketing has had a huge question mark going into this new season because of the demand. And I will tell you now, it is really, this initial announcement is pretty much based at current season ticket holders. There has been no news just yet on whether there could be additional season tickets released this season. There's been no real chat on what everybody else can do. There's a bit of talk on memberships, in fairness. They are actually trying to help members out. I'll cover that quickly now. So previously, season ticket holders effectively also got membership benefits. So if you got your season ticket and then you wanted to get another ticket, you could get in early access alongside the members to get an additional ticket. As I understand it, season ticket holders will lose that benefit to try and help the thousands of members who paid their money and then still struggled to get tickets. So I think in theory, if you are a season ticket holder and still want to be able to jump onto the membership benefits, I think you may also have to buy the membership separately. So you may want to look into that a little bit if you're someone who goes on and gets additional tickets. In terms of additional season tickets, as I've said, no news on that yet. We will have to wait and see. If I have to be totally honest, I can't see them releasing a big chunk. I think I've literally just said it. The fact that there is so many Newcastle fans trying to get tickets right now, if they went ahead and sold another 5,000, 10,000 season tickets, they're going to go like that. And then the amount of tickets available on general sale is going to get even tougher. Not to mention the fact that they are actually having people relocate at the start of the season because they are doing redevelopment work in the stadium. And I think both the Gallowgate with the new standing, in some more corporate boxes in the Gallowgate and over in the Leazes as well. So there's that going on. So that could see a reduction of seats available from the start of the season anyway. And that's when we get on to what's been announced for the tickets this upcoming season. So season ticket holders have now not only been given the option to buy their season ticket from day one, they are now also able to buy all of their Carabao Cup tickets, all of their FA Cup tickets, and all of their Champions League tickets from day one. Which for me, as a season ticket holder, is pretty good. It means that I am guaranteed that I will be able to go to the home games, not the away games, but the home games at St James's Park, and I will have first opportunity to my seat. In fairness, I can see why people aren't happy about that. Because in theory, if I go, yep, I want them all, and then I end up not going, or which I wouldn't do, by the way, because I will go to all the games. But for other people who might not go, that is potentially them picking up a seat without even knowing when it is, and when the day is, who we're playing, are they on holiday that day, can they even make it? And then all of the guys on general sale who could potentially have the chance to go in and get that seat if you didn't purchase it. Well, will they sell it back to the club? Will they give it to a friend? Will they not? So I could see a little bit of why people aren't overly happy about that if you're not a season ticket holder. Generally speaking though, season ticket holders get first refusal anyway to their ticket. So last season, previous seasons, pretty much every single season, back, time we were in the Champions League first time around, Newcastle used to do this. They used to sell the packages at the start of the season. I think because of, the decline of the club and the way things were going, people were less reluctant to pay, and we'll get onto pricing in a moment, £165 up front. I mean, it's Champions League. People are always going to really pay that, aren't they? But for Carabao and FA Cup, people might have been less reluctant to pay up front for tickets when we weren't getting past the first or second round. And when we did do that, we weren't playing particularly well and the money was going somewhere that you didn't want it to go. So I can see why they've reintroduced it now. I think they have listened to season ticket holders. I think they've kind of come out and said in the fan forums that they want to have the opportunity to buy up front. I can understand why people who aren't members and who are general sale are a little bit, well, you've taken away if you weren't going to make it, but you've already got it, how am I going to have the chance to get it? So it's a big push in the direction of season ticket holders, and maybe what could be tougher for people who don't have a ticket already to try and get in at a later date, because a lot of the tickets will be bought up first time round. And also, by the way, after last season, where I think a lot of people might go, nah, Carabao Cup, I'll give that one a miss. Hang on, we got all the way to Wembley. So I think a lot of fans, season ticket holders, will buy the tickets, potentially whether they're there or not, because they do not want to potentially miss out on a chance to go to Wembley. And to be honest, I think all season ticket holders pretty much got the Wembley tickets anyway, so I don't think it would be that big of a worry, but you can see why people want them from the very beginning. And then we come on to pricing as well. So pricing's had a bit of a question mark around it with the reveal. As I've mentioned, £165 for 3 football games. When you say it like that, it does sound a little bit pricey. However, Newcastle could have charged £100 a ticket. They could have charged £120 a ticket, and it would have been full. People would have gone. And that's the thing right now, is that I'm not going to sit here and go the mugging off the fans. Like, it's not. And that's what I think when you say £55 a ticket, £165 for 3 tickets. When you say it like that, it does sound a bit pricey. But if you really take a step back and go, how much does it cost for a ticket for a Premier League game? 35 quid, 40, 45 quid, 50 quid if you're sitting, or even more, you know, depending on where you are in the stadium. Normally when I grab tickets for friends, they're normally 30, 45 quid, 30, 40 quid. Well, what, is that £10 less than, so the Champions League's £10 more expensive? Like, it sounds a lot when you put it that way, but when you actually break it down, it's what, an extra 10, 15 quid more than it would normally be to see us play in the Champions League, hopefully against some pretty big sides and hopefully get through to some final rounds. If anything, it wasn't even the Champions League tickets that caught my eye. It was the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup, because that's the thing. Back in those days when we weren't playing great and the club was selling them for a tenner because they were happy for anybody to get in the stadium, now they've got up to 30, 25, 30 quid. You know, for the earlier rounds, playing against sides when normally they would take that as a chance to sell tickets for a fiver. For kids, £10 for adults. Let's fill the stadium, let's go. 30 quid to play a League 2 side at St James's Park, when normally would be a great chance for maybe some of the younger fans to go fill up the stadium with maybe some families who don't normally get to go. Suddenly putting a £30 price tag on that, that's making it hard for families of 4 or 5 who would normally get their chance to go to St James's Park once or twice a year. It's gone from paying 30 quid for the family, 30 quid for the family, if I can get my words out, to now £100 plus for the family. Obviously there's concessions and there's child's prices are slightly different. It's not £30 for everybody, but that was actually the bigger jump that I noticed. The Champions League, mate, as I say, I'll pay whatever it costs, and I will pay the cup games as well. And that's the way you've also got to look at it. As I mentioned earlier, they could have. That'd be interesting with the cup games, to be honest. I don't know if that pricing may change closer to the time. Maybe that's the pricing they put on for season ticket holders. So if you want yours up front, guaranteed, you're paying a little bit for that also. £25 for a game at home against a League 2 side that would normally sell for £5. Well, we wouldn't even open the top tiers. Even at the start of last season, we were leaving the top tier spare because we didn't think they would fill it up. As the rounds went on and we started doing better, they did open up the top tiers and we did fill them up. And maybe it's because they know people will be buying them regardless, because they need to make sure they've got their ticket for if we get Wembley again. So yeah, you let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know your thoughts if you're a season ticket holder, whether you are happy that you can now purchase your tickets up front, done, wallop. I'll be there for all of them, because that's what I'm pretty happy about. If you aren't a season ticket holder, is that bad for you to hear? Because it means that there's potentially less tickets will be available at a later date because everybody's bought them all up front. So I can understand why general sale ticket users are slightly less happy with that. If you're a season ticket holder, let me know your thoughts on the pricing. I mean, that's the thing, I sit in category C, so I think mine's just over £600 this season, which isn't a huge jump. I think it was about 600 last season. I think it's 630 this season. And then £165 for the 3 Champions League games. Tell me what you think about that, because as I say, I've seen a mix. I've seen people who aren't and are happy and aren't happy, and it's tough right now. You know, people are in the northeast, there's not a lot of money there, and any price rise is tough for anyone. Interest rates are through the roof. There's loads of stuff going on right now, and I think I saw a couple of posted, if you bought your season ticket, if you bought your Champions League ticket, if you bought the ticket for the Rangers friendly, which I'm going to, if you bought your ticket for the Gateshead friendly that I'm going to, if you're heading off to bloody America, if you're buying all the away tickets, like, you're now talking like thousands and thousands. But the football's expensive, and it always has been. And look, we haven't, the reason it sounds like more is because we haven't been in the Champions League. You know, I bet bloody Arsenal are charging more than 55 quid. You know, we're in there. We're one of the top 4 teams. We are the top 4 teams in the league who got Champions League. I'm pretty sure our tickets are probably less than the other 3, you know? So yeah, you let me know your thoughts on the pricing down below. Let me know if you're a season ticket holder, whether you're happy, sad, or indifferent. Will you be buying all of the cup games up front, or will you hold off? It's going to be a good season, but we've still got all the summer to get through yet, and I cannot wait to see what players we bring in time for our Champions League season. All right, guys, thanks for watching as always. Let me know your thoughts down below. Enjoy your Friday night, enjoy the sun, and I'll catch you later.